You gotta keep on breathing.
So upper body work, 2 blocks and a strap are quite handy. We're going to start in supported fish using the blocks. If you don't want a too intense back bend, go for the lower level of the block. If you're okay, go for the medium level. And then your block, that one is the highest level, or the medium. If you've gone for the lowest, in the middle of the back, and that supports the head and the neck. So we come down nice and slowly, making sure that that block sits itself between our shoulder blades. So there's a gap with your kind of lower back free, buttocks are on the floor. And again, you'll just try and balance and hover and make sure that any hair bobbles don't get in the way of the back of the skull on that back block. So legs can be out long, they can be in butterfly, they might be in constructive rest, which is soles of the feet wide, knees together. Arms out to the side of you, about 45 degrees away from the hips, and palms are face up. So that allows the expansionness of the collarbones and the chest. So making sure that you're comfortable there. We're going to be here for about 5 minutes, but we're going to give all of our weight into those props. And just start to recognize what it's like having this block. Hopefully not digging into your back. So hopefully it's nice and comfortable there. If you've got spongy blocks like me, that's okay, but some of the cork blocks can be quite hard on the edges. So our practice today will be all about creating space, finding space, and exploring space. And technically, we're inviting and introducing the space element into our practice today. So all of that is around making shapes to create space between, arms, legs, limbs, and body. But also making space in the mind. That's one of the hardest challenges, is to create that space so that you find that silence in the mind. And you can just practice without lots of distractive thoughts. So with those words in mind, focusing on what thoughts you may be holding on to here, just let those go and start to tune into your breath. And as you breathe in, feel the rib cage expand when the lungs fill. So we're filling the space of the lungs with air. And on the exhale, relax, let it go. Let the body sink down into those blocks. So feel the expansiveness as you breathe in, front, back, and sides of the torso. And exhale, let that gently and softly release. And here we have obviously our opportunity to come to the higher chakras as well, our throat, our third eye, and our crown chakra. So start to almost visualize those energy wheels, base of the throat, center of the eyebrows, top of the head, all starting to connect to one another for your upper body practice today. Feel the neck become relaxed but long. Feel the tension wash away from the forehead and the eyebrows. And feel that there's space at the top of the head, almost lengthening back behind you. start to wiggle the fingers, bring some movement back into the hands. Stretch the fingers out nice and wide. Feel the space between each and every finger. And then curl those fingers into the palm nice and gently. And then stretch them out once more. So notice here, we're starting to activate down into the forearms. You're just resting on the elbows. Just a couple more stretches and clenches. And then if the legs were in butterfly, lift the thighs together. If the legs were long, bring the soles of the feet back underneath the knees. And bring the hands by the side of your body. Pull the elbows underneath the shoulders. Palms face down, forearms face down. And just press up and look along the body. Look between the space between your knees. Continue to keep pushing up. See if you can start to lift the back away from the block. I've got about a centimetre maybe. Now I'm away. Keep pushing down through those palms, through those arms. Keep the chest nice and open. And then eventually roll yourself over, move the blocks to one side and come all the way down to pentacle. So feet are nice and wide and the arms are nice and wide. Now spread the shoulder blades apart. Really lift up and spread them apart from one another. Lie back of the head, nice and firmly planted, and the neck again is long. If you feel that the neck is tight here, maybe place a block underneath the head. Relax the throat, and relax the body. Nothing underneath us at all. Lift the head and exhale, turn the chin to look over your right shoulder. Notice as the left shoulder lifted up a little bit, can you draw that left shoulder down? Remember, spread the shoulders out underneath you. Just getting a nice little left neck stretch there. Breathe in, bring the head back into center. Keep it moving. Exhale over to the left. So again, just looking down, shoulder, arm, all the way to the thumbnail. Now you might notice here that the neck muscles are pulling down into the trapezius, down into maybe the upper back. So just notice where you feel any tension and tightness. Bring the head back into the center. And then inhale, lift the head away from the mat. Tuck the chin in towards the chest and look along the body, but keep the shoulders pulling down. So we're not pulling all the way up here. Keep the shoulders nice and flat. Look along the body. Pull navel into spine. Just try and flatten out the spine here. Quite often when our head is down and our belly starts to rise up, we get that little natural arch. So here we can look along the body and get the back of the neck a little stretch. And then draw the knees in as you lengthen the head back and squeeze those thighs in towards the chest. Give a little bit more space here by pulling the knees a little bit wider. So you've got space between the belly and the rib cage and the thighs and the knees. Lengthen tailbone. Remember all of that work in April around the sacrum and the pelvis. And then start to circle. So just release into the hips. We don't do much hip work in this practice. Most of it's focused on the upper body, shoulders, chest, upper back, neck, and the head. And circle the other way. And roll over to one side. Bring yourself up to a tabletop position. So here we're going to start to get into the neck, head and shoulders through our cat and cow. We're going to take that focus that we had last week and last month from our sacrum up to the head, neck and the upper back. So pushing away from the floor, create space through the hands and the fingers. And then round out through the upper back, bringing the chin in towards the chest. Inhale, looking forward. We don't have to arch the neck at all. We can just look at the front of our mat and then exhale, let the head become heavy. Keep that moving nice and gradually with the breath. And on the last cat, bring the hips back towards the heels. Create a little bit of space between the belly and the thighs as you lift and lengthen. Reach the fingertips forward and then find that space between the arms and the floor and the belly and the thighs. Soften the head down to the mat or onto a block. And feel the back body spacing itself out in child's pose. Start to walk the hands back towards the knees as you uncurl. Bring the heels underneath you. If kneeling is really not your friend, use a cushion or a bolster, blocks to sit on. But start to find yourself nice and tall. Let the shoulders relax away from the ears. So we're starting to feel this space as if somebody's put this really big necklace and it's lengthening up our neck. And then we drop the chin gently down towards the chest. Shoulders stay where they are. They don't round forward. Nice and open across the collarbones. Closing off the throat. Inhale, lift the gaze. Keep the neck nice and long. We're not letting the weight of the head drop back. We're using the neck muscles. I can feel this all the way down my mid-back into my thoracic as I just take the head a little bit up. Bring it back into the center, turn the gaze over the left shoulder. Keep the collarbones nice and level. Breathe in, come back into center, exhale, take it to the other side. We rarely spend enough time on our neck. Bring it back into the center. This time we drop an ear to a shoulder, but we don't lift this shoulder up. So again, we keep it nice and square. Let that head still face the front. Ear drops down. Bring it back up into the center and exhale. Let that ear go to the other side. Now, if you notice that there's clicks and cracks, that's quite normal. Our neck cricks and cracks and clicks and pops. And that's simply because, bring the head back into the center. That's simply because our ears are really close to our neck. So invite a little jiggle and a wiggle. It's not quite a big semicircle. Just feel the head kind of balancing on top of, as if it were on the top of a spike almost. But obviously we've got this complex network of muscles and ligaments that support the head on top of the neck. And then jut the jaw forward. So if you look at it from the side, you're jutting the jaw away. Feel the stretch through the neck there. And then bring it back. Create a double chin. I know that's not pleasant. That's using those back muscles all the way up to the skull. And then release. Let's come back up, down into our tabletop. This time we're going to focus on our protraction and retraction of the shoulder blades. So we just push away and drop. Push away and drop. Simply isolating shoulders only. Keep navel lifted. And then come back to neutral. Reach your right arm up towards the sky. Thread the needle. Thread it through and under. Bring the right arm down to the floor. If you like, lengthen the left arm away in front of you. Again, we're creating that space between the head, the arm and the floor. Keeping the hips nice and high. Bring the left arm back to support you. Right arm opens up like a big, big wing. That gives you a clue. And the right arm comes down. Left arm lifts, open it up. Big, big expansive wing. Send it through and under. Bring that wrist, arm, shoulder down, and maybe reach the right arm forward. Create space in the side body here as you open out the rib cage, the waist, the armpit, the arm. Bring right hand back, press it into the floor, and sweep that left arm up towards the sky, open it up, and it comes down. Let's slide ourselves down onto the knees and lower into your Sphinx pose. Release the pelvis. Get all 10 toes touching the floor, including those little ones. Space out the pelvis if you need to. When the feet are together, whether that's standing or in a prone position, it kind of tightens up the lower back. It doesn't feel comfortable for me, so I take my feet a little bit wider, hip width. Pressing away from the floor, lift the gaze, lift the chest. We don't have to, again, bring the head all the way back. Keep the length into the back of the neck. Look over your left shoulder. Notice where that pull feels all the way down to. Maybe you see your left heel. Bring the head back into the center. Look over to your right shoulder. Maybe you see your right heel. Keep navel lifting. Bring it back into center, widen the elbows, and lower yourself down all the way into prone. Head comes to the hands. Big toes touch and the heels fall out to the sides. You space out the lower back, give it a little wiggle from side to side. Shuffle over to the right side of your mat, coming into our broken wing or lying chest opener. So this can be a half cactus arm or straight out. I'm going to tell you that the half cactus feels more intense to me, but it might be okay for you. Right hand pushes onto the floor and you roll over slightly onto that left hip, letting that left temple and left ear come down onto the floor. Stay and hold and breathe for a moment. If you like, always an option, opening up the right hip, right knee, foot presses down to the floor, and then taking that right hand to the small of the back. Couple of breaths. We're dropping that weight down into that left chest, left arm. Bring the right arm back, bring the right leg back. Realign yourself onto the mat, head to the hand, and your left arm goes down the side of the body. Shuffle over to the left side of your mat. Right arm, again, might be in that cactus position, a half bend at the elbow, or straighten it along the mat. Left hand pushes you away from the floor. You're going to roll over onto your right hip. Knees might stay on top of one another here with bent legs. You can choose that leg opening option. Oh, that's tight this side. And yeah, you might feel that one side is different. Maybe taking the left hand to the small of the back. Resting the right ear, right temple down, or on a block. Couple of breaths. Bring left hand back, left leg back, roll back into the center, or bring your head to the hand first of all, and then right arm, relax into that right chest, right shoulder, and the right hand goes down by the hip, palm face up. Bring the hands back and center yourself in your mat. And push yourself up through your cobra. And come back into your tabletop position. So here we've got a few little press ups. So maybe bring the hands a little bit further forward of the shoulders. We're not going to take the arms out to the side like that. We're going to squeeze them in and push them back. See if we can go for 10, maybe just 5. Keep the spine nice and long. Keep those elbows pulling in towards the midline of the body. Oh, that's tight. I might just manage 2 more. And last one, push it all the way back, tuck the toes and exhale into your downward facing dog. Pedal out through the feet, releasing a heel at a time, feeling the stretch through the back of the legs. This is more upper body focus, but yes, we do get into those legs. Exhaling, releasing both heels together. Maybe there's a slight bend at the back of the knees. And we're pressing the chest gently back towards the thighs, lifting up through the abdominals here. Focus might be at the toes, might be at the heels, might be at the knees. And looking forward to the front of your mat, start to walk all the way through. Bring the feet down onto the floor. Give yourself a little wiggle through the feet, maybe get into the ankles, minor clicking, minor cracking. Half lift, lengthen through the spine, open the chest, parallel to the floor. And your back is nice and long and flat. Pull the shoulders back away from the ears. And exhale, create space. You'll hear that a lot from the belly and the hips. And release down into your forward fold. Take hold of the elbows. Give yourself all that weight. Let the shoulders relax. Let the head jiggle. Yes, no, a few little circles. Give in to all of that weight in the head. Release the hands behind you, behind the back, interlace the fingers. And here you have the option to just lengthen the knuckles away, straightening up through the legs. And if you like, taking those arms up and over the head. Go easy here. Maybe there's a bend in the knees, maybe they're straight. Let the crown of the head reach to the floor. Release the hands back towards the buttocks. Let the hands flop to the floor and either roll or flat back. Bring you all the way up to stand. Arms raise above the head. Take hold of your right wrist. Lift up, lengthen, and take a nice little crescent side bend to one side. Just pull that arm. Almost pull it out of its shoulder socket. We don't have to obviously pull it out. Bring yourself back into the center. Take hold of the opposite wrist, lift and lengthen, and over to the other side. And breathe in and release those arms. Let them float down by the sides. How's the shoulders feeling? Give them a little circle. And we're going to come into a little bit of kind of figure of eights. We haven't done this for so long. So using your left hand as if you had a plate on your left hand, we pull the elbow back. We kind of flick the wrist behind us, internally rotating that shoulder. It comes all the way around over the top of the head like a lasso and then comes back in. Now straight or bent legs. So breath in, open the chest. Breath out, maybe there's a little fold. Breath in, open the chest, back bend. Exhale, elbow comes into the ribs, maybe a little fold. One more, open. And release into the fold. And let's take that arm down. Other side. Little plate in your hand. Try and keep that plate there. So bring it back. A little fold. Inhale. Little back bend. Exhale. Round out. Inhale. Little back bend. Exhale. Round out as the hand comes by the waist. Inhale. Come up. Last one. Take the arm up and let it down by the side of you. Guess what? We bring them both together. So when we introduce this, we're going to be taking the fold as they go back behind us. As the wrists cross, they come up and you open into that back bend. So melting, releasing, exhaling, inhaling, back bend, lift to the sky. Really get into the wrists, arms, shoulders. Keep it nice and fluid with the breath, bending knees. And the last one, we release it down to the floor. Inhale, lengthen into half lift, straight or bent legs. Exhale, hands come down, step back left leg into your warrior one. We haven't been there for so long. Inhale, lift the arms up, start to square the chest off to the front of your mat. This left hip might be kind of pointing over to the left. Maybe the arms are palms apart, maybe they're together, maybe they're in Vira Mudra. Lift and lengthen, shoulders are away from the ears, bend the front knee. Straight, strong, back leg, draw in the navel. And then from here, we release the hands, right arm crosses over, and we come into eagle arms. Yes. Humble warrior. Lift and lengthen, fold. Bring that right shoulder down on the inside of your right leg. Bend the front knee. Drop the hips. Keep those fingertips reaching away from the body. Keep the elbows spaced out from the elbows to the body. Lift and lengthen. And we're going to step forward to the front into eagle pose. Left leg, wrap it over. It might just tap the floor like mine did. A little cheat is okay. It might wrap around the back leg or it might come to the floor. Lift and lengthen the arms. Lengthen spine, bend the supporting leg. Find the focus in the balance. Find the strength to fly. And release the arms, release the legs. Take a moment to find Tadasana. So repeating that on the other side, we have exhale, release. Inhale, open it up into the back bend. Exhale, spin those plates, they're not falling off the hands, and up into the back bend. Exhale fully as you fold. Inhale, gaze and lift the chest. Last one, we come up and then we melt, hands come down to the floor. Inhale, half lift, lengthen through the spine, either hands on shins or floor or blocks. Step back, right leg this time. Plant the foot. Find that warrior one legs. Inhale, lift. Again, hands either apart, together, or Vira Mudra. Vira Mudra is interlacing the fingers, and you've got those two pointed index fingers up to the sky. Draw navel in. Maybe there's a little back bend there, but we're bending into the front knee. From here, we're thinking about the next transition. Of course we are, because it's eagle arms. Left arm comes across. Take that wrap. Lift and lengthen. Fold. Left shoulder comes on the inside of that left knee. We're reaching those fingertips away from the body. Steady the breath, steady the mind, ready to come into that eagle balance. So we lift back up and we step forward. Right leg crosses over. It might come straight around the back. Mine did not. It might come to the floor. We're keeping a nice long spine, bending into the supporting leg. Now this feeling of transcendence here, rooting through the feet. Keep you grounded to the earth, rising through the upper body. Find the focus at the back of the wrists and beyond, and press through that supporting leg, releasing the hands and releasing the foot to the floor. Find mountain pose. Take a moment to just let everything embed itself, let it settle. Heart rate increases, of course, when we do some nice figure of eights, ups and downs and sun salutations. So inhale the arms up. Exhale, swan dive, arms go nice and wide, like you're flying. See how long you can take in that straight back, flat back, forward fold. Hands come to the floor, inhale, half lift and lengthen. Exhale, hands come down. You're going to either step or float this back through your plank into your connecting vinyasas of choice, whether that's knees down or your chaturangas. Find your back bend of choice, cobra or up dog, take it back, downward facing dog. Take a moment to breathe, maybe coming to tabletop or child's pose. Notice what the shoulder blades are doing here, keep them away from the ears. We're not letting those shoulders soften, we're broadening them across the back. Come into plank. Find a nice high plank here. We're pushing away from the floor. You can always lower the knees, but keep those shoulders broadened. Pull the shoulder blades away from one another as if they're kind of wrapping around down the upper arm. And now lower the knees. Bring yourself back to kneel. And sweep the arms around into reverse prayer. I'm really hoping that your reverse prayer is quite accessible. After some shoulder opening, shoulder releasing. Maybe we're pressing those fingers together. Maybe we're pressing knuckles together on clenched fists. Now fold forward. Belly lengthens over the thighs, head might come to the floor. See how much the hands might now pull apart. See if you can push them together. This is deep wrist work if the palms are coming into Anjali Mudra behind the back. My palms are not together, I will tell you. Just my fingertips. Lengthen spine, use the core, use the back muscles, bring you back up and release the arms. Give those wrists a little release. How are we doing? Good. Circle the other way, give them a little shake out and send the legs out in front of you. So we're going to go through a seated twist, a seated forward fold, a seated twist, and then a second seated forward fold. Right leg crosses over your left. If you like, you can, of course, bring your left leg and take it back around behind you if you can get your right butt cheek to the floor. I can't today, so sitting nice and tall, grounding through that big toe of your right leg and create space between the belly and your right thigh, maybe hugging that right knee or taking the elbow across. As we lengthen the spine, we breathe in, we sit nice and tall. As we deepen the rotation, maybe taking the gaze, looking back over that right shoulder, we exhale. Opening the chest out to the side, really using the thoracic spine here, the rotation into the mid-back and the neck as well. Bring yourself center, extend that right leg out in front of you. Inhale, lift, those feet are flexed, we're hinging from the hips into Paschimottanasana and keeping the chest nice and open. Fingers might come to the big toes, they might come to the ankles. Keep the chest nice and open, long spine. We're not collapsing and rounding out. through the shoulders. It's very active, seated forward fold. And again, if you're feeling that there, bend the knees. Okay, I can absolutely feel that going down the back of my legs. Toes are pointing up towards the sky. Draw navel in towards the spine. It's very active, and we release. Bring that left leg in for your seated twist. Plant that foot down onto the floor. Again, you might be able to wrap that leg around, but again, only if this buttock comes to the floor. It's a bit better that side, but it's okay. Create the space, belly free of the thigh. Elbow might come over, or you simply hug. Underneath leg is active, flexing up the toes. And again, we're moving through the thoracic rotation and then into the neck if it feels good to do so. You can always look to the side or look to the front if the neck doesn't want to turn and look over the shoulder. Sit tall, lengthen and elongate on your inhale breath. Exhale, possibly deepen that rotation of the spine. Breathe in, come back into the center. We lift the arms up, we extend the left leg. Create space in the spine, reach up, lengthen, as if those hands are going way past the feet. At some point, some resistance is going to come in. That's when the hands land. Wiggle the flesh underneath the sit bones. That gives you a bit more space. And then again, nice seated forward fold. Second time around. Keep the chest open towards the toes. Draw in deep breaths. Feel the expansion of the rib cage, front, back and sides. And this time relax everything. Relax the feet, relax the legs, relax the body and the head and the neck. Keep drawing navel in towards the spine as we round out. And slowly roll up through the spine. Bring yourself up to a seated upright position. Last bit of effort before we come down onto our backs is either your upward facing tabletop, so hands are underneath the shoulders, feet are underneath the knees, or you might come into your upward facing plank, straight legs. So let's find 5 breaths wherever you've chosen to go. Keep lifting those hips up towards the sky. Push away from the floor, keep the chest nice and open. Might be 3 breaths. Lower the hips down. Ooh, well done, well done. Bring those hands back and give them a little bit of love. Wiggle yourself a little bit further forward, bend the knees, soles of the feet go down. Take a nice slow roll down through the spine, each and every vertebra. When we get to the floor, we spread those shoulder blades apart. And the arms come up behind us and we straighten the legs. Now notice what the shoulder blades have done here when the arms go above the head. So see if you can still spread those shoulder blades apart. They're away from the ears. We're creating space, but still reach the fingers. And then gather the knees in. Roll, massage out through the spine. So I'll give you an option here, either dead bug. Now the shoulders aren't pulling away from the floor in dead bug, shoulders are nicely down and spread. Feet are above the hips, but you can bend the knees if the hamstrings feel tight, but don't bend the knees over here so that you're using the abdominals. Or shoulder stand. Oh, sorry, I should have said the next one, which was bridge pose. So either shoulder stands or bridge or dead bug. So find which posture you wish to work with. If we're in shoulder stand, we're drawing those elbows in towards the center, getting those shoulders underneath us. Really roll them, wiggle them underneath you. You can do the same thing in the bridge pose, but the only one that we don't want to do that is our dead bug. We want to spread those shoulder blades out. Lift those feet up if you're in that shoulder stand. Get those heels above the hips. Neck is long, try to keep the gaze up towards the toes. And when you're ready, come down super slow and just return into a constructive rest pose. Hands rest down onto the belly, feet are wide, and knees drop in towards one another. So again, if the neck starts to feel a little tight and you start lifting up the chin, place a block underneath your head here, making sure the hair bobbles aren't stopping really the neck from being long. Make sure the back of the head is nice and flat. Bring the feet together. Find parallel position. Take the arms out to the sides of you. Those are at shoulder height, palms are face up. Press into the feet, lift the hips and shift them over to the right side of your mat to bring those knees over to the left. Take the left hand to the top knee and pull that knee downwards whilst you are opposing that force, pulling down the right shoulder. So imagine that I had your right hand or hand on your shoulder and hand on your knee and just pulling those apart from one another. You can do that work yourself. Maybe the gaze looks towards the right hand as well. Remember, this is an upper body practice, so into the head, the neck, chest, shoulders, upper back. Breathe the head and neck back into the center first. Release that hand and lift those knees back on your inhale. Realign knees and spine. Take a moment before you go to the other side. Press into the feet, lift the hips, shift them over to the left, and then lower the knees over to the right. And that right hand takes hold of your left knee as you pull down your left shoulder blade. And again, gaze might look towards your left palm. Keep opening the chest up towards the sky. And breathe the head and neck back into the center. Release those knees. Bring those back into the center and realign everything here. Take the feet wide. Let the knees drop in towards one another. Constructive rest. Spread the shoulder blades. So we're going to revisit our fish pose without the blocks this time. Heel toe, feet into parallel. Hands come underneath the buttocks. Palms are face down and the thumbnails might touch. Then you extend the legs along the mat. Big toes are touching. And you're going to push through the palms, the elbows, lifting up onto the forearms, bringing those forearms underneath you. And you can look along the body just like we did at the beginning, or you might lengthen the neck, support the weight of the head with the neck muscles and look to the sky. If you like, you can let the head drop back, but personally, I don't like that myself. That's your option. If you want a little extra challenge, raising the heels away from the floor just a couple of inches. Keep pushing away through the floor, opening up the chest, squeezing those shoulder blades together. lowering heels, bringing the head back and rolling down. Take the hands away, spread out for a moment just to rest in Shavasana. That takes some work. I haven't done a fish for a while. Oh, my heart's beating. Draw knees in. They don't have to be tight. There can be space between the belly, between the thighs. Give the spine, give the rib cage, give the shoulders a good massage underneath you. Circling the knees one way and the other. As I said, not much leg work apart from in those warriors and eagles, not much hip openings. And let's find Shavasana. So keeping yourself nice and warm, putting some layers on, maybe using bolsters underneath the knees, blocks underneath the head, and just start to find that moment of stillness. So really allowing yourself to be present. Not letting the mind wander off. Bring your internal drishti into those 3 higher chakra areas. So the base of the throat, connecting to the 3rd eye between the eyebrows. Energetically connecting to the top of the head, the crown chakra. Letting the head become heavy and the neck become soft and the shoulders relax. So our space element is the container for all of the other elements that we have worked through in the last 4 months. This is the subtlest of the energy, akasha and ether. So embrace the space in the mind and the space that you've created in the entire body through physical practice now. And I'll give you that space of silence and let you know when it's time to come back around. Taking a big inhale, feeling the expansion as the air fills the space in the lungs. And let that exhale release out. Bring movement back into the fingers, back into the toes. Feel the space between each toe and each finger. Circle the wrists, circle the ankles, lift the arms up as you breathe in and stretch the body. Gather the knees in, roll and massage out gently. Take your time to roll over to one side and return up to a comfortable seat. And sitting nice and tall, maybe sitting on something. And bring the hands across the throat chakra in Garuda Mudra, fanning the fingers out. Let's end our practice today with 3 consecutive Oms. We'll take a breath in and out to prepare, and then we'll take a breath in and then we Om on our exhale. So breath in and a full breath out. Breath in and then Om on your exhale. Om. Breath in. Om. Last one, breath in. Om. Just letting those sound frequencies wash over and through you, stimulating the throat chakra through voice and mantra. Always thank yourself, your body, your breath, your energy, and your focus for everything it does. And I thank you today.